Odin played a major role in the MCU. The King of Asgard was played by Anthony Hopkins in 3 Thor films and met his demise in Thor Ragnarok, but not before revealing he had many secrets he never shared with his sons. We here at Screen Rant believe one of those secrets is a connection between Odin and the Infinity Stones. Our theory is Odin was the first being in the universe to collect all 6 Infinity Stones. But before we blow your collective minds with our theory, make sure to hit the red subscribe button on the screen right now and ring the bell to join our notification squad. This will ensure you never miss any of our videos. Now, are you ready? Let's begin!
There are relics that predate the universe itself. 9 realms are not eternal.
In this year's Avengers Infinity War, Marvel shocked the world as Thanos collected all 6 Infinity Stones and ended up wiping out half of all life in the universe with a single snap. Come on, Thor, you had one job. Why didn't you aim for the head?
You should have gone for the head.
Fans might think Thanos was the first to ever use all the stones at the same time, but our theory is Odin actually completed the feat first. We believe Odin not only collected all 6 Infinity Stones, he might actually be the key to reversing the snap in Avengers 4. Before we jump right into the theory itself, let's recap some of the facts. In 2013's Thor: The Dark World, we found out Odin was well aware of the Infinity Stones, and in fact, eons ago his father Bor was in the possession of the Reality Stone following a war with the Dark Elves.
Bury it deep. Somewhere no one will ever find it.
This means Odin didn't just know about the stones, he actually knew where one of them was hidden. To further prove that Odin came into contact with the Infinity Stones, we just need to look at the scene in Captain America: The First Avenger where the Tesseract is uncovered by Red Skull. In the opening scene, Red Skull referred to the Tesseract, aka the Space Stone, as the jewel from Odin's treasure room.
The Tesseract was the jewel of Odin's treasure room.
And if the Space Stone came from Odin's vault, couldn't it mean he was its owner? Thousands of years ago, Asgard and the Nine Realms faced never-ending attacks from the Frost Giants, fear of the return of the Dark Elves, and the everlasting threat of Surtur promising to destroy Asgard with Ragnarok. Presumably, these threats drove Odin to find and collect all 6 Infinity Stones in the hopes that with their power combined, he could protect the Nine Realms. While we know the Infinity Stones are remnants of 6 singularities that existed before our own universe was created, we never really found out who used the stones throughout the eons.
These stones, it seems, can only be brandished by beings of extraordinary strength.
We believe the stones were in the possession of the ancient and powerful entities that might be as old as the stones themselves, and those beings are known as the Celestials. This makes a lot of sense, considering that in the first Guardians of the Galaxy film, we saw a Celestial using the Power Stone to destroy a planet. Consequently, it's conceivable that other Celestial beings possessed other stones as well. Considering that all the Celestials we've seen in the MCU, including Ego the Living Planet, were pretty evil, it's possible that they were a threat to life in the universe. Odin could have made the decision to face the ancient entities to protect the Nine Realms. We believe Odin used the Reality Stone against them, the one stone he actually knew the location of. The Reality Stone is extremely powerful, and it could serve as a great weapon against even godlike entities. We presume that Odin was able to defeat the Celestials one by one, first by using only the Reality Stone and Asgard's resources, and then as he started collecting the stones from the fallen Celestials, he had more power to fight the others. In the end, Odin stood tall, and with all 6 stones in his possession, even the Celestials couldn't stand in his way. We think that the power of the stones ended up corrupting Odin, since as the old saying goes, ultimate power corrupts absolutely. Maybe it was the phase of corruption which caused Odin to lead a crusade, conquer other worlds, and build an Asgardian empire with the help of his powerful daughter and goddess of death, Hela. We think this was the cause that led Odin to give up the stones and hide them. He understood the power had corrupted him, possibly even corrupted Hela, and Odin was forced to banish and imprison his own daughter.
In order to take the stone, you must lose that which you love.
Fans might think there was no way Odin could have obtained the Soul Stone due to the fact that Odin would have never paid the same price that Thanos did in Infinity War. However, we think this was not the case. As we mentioned before, our theory says Odin obtained all the stones from the Celestials, including the Soul Stone. If Odin possessed all 6 stones, then the Soul Stone wasn't actually located on Vormir when Odin was collecting the stones. Therefore, Odin didn't have to sacrifice one which he loved the most in order to obtain the stone. Following Odin's decision to give up the stones, it was Odin who hid the stone on Vormir and created the failsafe in which the only way to retrieve the Soul Stone is to pay the ultimate price. And we're not just basing this on our own theory. The emotional scene where Thanos sacrifices his daughter Gamora was extremely heartbreaking. But the scene also contained a hint that might prove our theory. After Gamora is sacrificed, we see a blue beacon shooting to the sky, and it looks like some kind of portal is opening in the Vormir sky. The light that the portal emits behind Thanos is very much akin to the light created by the Bifrost Bridge on Asgard. And while Asgard was destroyed by that point in the film, we saw the power of the Bifrost being used on 2 occasions in Infinity War. First when Heimdall sent the Hulk to Earth, and then when Thor joined the battle in Wakanda. It's likely the magic of the Bifrost is still available even though Asgard no longer exists. And if the portal that was created after Gamora's sacrifice is a version of the Bifrost, then it must mean Odin was connected to the stone and the planet. Therefore, it's more than likely Odin was actually the one who hid the Soul Stone on Vormir in the first place. We have some more possible proof for Odin's connection to the Soul Stone, as well as the Space Stone. After Red Skull uncovered the Tesseract and tried to use its power, the stone backfired on the former Hydra leader and Red Skull was teleported to Vormir. It's possible that Odin was responsible for this punishment, since after all, he seems to be fond of exiling people to other planets as punishment. He did so with both Thor and Hela. If we can agree, at least for the sake of this video, that Odin did collect all 6 stones, we can assume Odin also used some of their power to protect Asgard and the 9 realms. For example, the Reality Stone. It's likely Odin used the Reality Stone to create the containers that held the Infinity Stones, the Tesseract, the Scepter, the Orb, and the Eye of Agamotto. Beyond that, Odin could have used the stones to give powers to other Asgardians. Loki was born as a frost giant, but Odin was able to transform Loki's appearance so he would appear as an Asgardian. It wasn't just an illusion, it was a permanent alteration, and the Reality Stone definitely has the power to alter reality itself. It's even possible that some of the Reality Stone's essence fused with Loki himself, giving an explanation to how he can always create illusions and manipulate reality. And that is similar to how Scarlet Witch got her powers, since she was infused with the Mind Stone, which resulted in her powers. We also believe Heimdall's powers to observe all the souls in the universe actually come from the Soul Stone. It would make sense that the Guardian of the Bifrost would need some all-seeing powers.
From here, I could see 9 realms and 10 trillion souls.
And Odin transferred some of the Soul Stone's powers to Heimdall. The orange tint in Heimdall's eyes and his ability to see all that is happening in the 9 realms and beyond comes directly from the Soul Stone. Odin also might have weaponized the power of the Mind Stone. If you look at the energy blast that comes out of Odin's staff, it does resemble the energy blast that comes out of the Mind Stone that's located in Vision's forehead. The Destroyer, who appeared in the first Thor film, might have also got some of the Mind Stone's power, since the Asgardian machine used the same energy blast. We witnessed the stones used to power weapons before, like in Captain America: The First Avenger, where Hydra used weapons that were powered by the Space Stone. So it stands to reason that Odin did the same with the Infinity Stones to power his own weapons. As far as the hiding spots that Odin chose for the stones, we might offer some ideas on that front as well. We think Odin chose strategic locations to hide the stones. The masters of the mystic arts on Earth did come into possession of the Time Stone, which was encased inside the Eye of Agamotto. Our theory is that Odin gave the stone to Agamotto himself, since the sorcerer and his order protected the Earth from supernatural evils such as Dormammu. And so, Odin probably figured that the Time Stone will be safer with someone as powerful as the Sorcerer Supreme. And that led Odin to entrust other powerful and reliable beings in the universe with the Infinity Stones. But the stones weren't the only thing Odin collected before Thanos. Going back to the first Thor film, we can see for a quick moment a version of the Infinity Gauntlet filled with all 6 Infinity Stones in Odin's vault. This little Easter egg has turned into a massive plot hole in the MCU. And while Marvel tried to dismiss it with a joke in Thor Ragnarok as Hela called the gauntlet fake, we think that there is much more to the story. Our theory is, like Thanos, Odin couldn't simply wield the stones without some type of device that could harness the powers of all 6 stones at the same time.
I made what he wanted. A device capable of harnessing the power of the stones.
That is why Odin turned to the dwarves of Nidavellir to forge him a gauntlet that will allow him to wield all 6 stones. This will explain how Atri knew to forge Thanos' own gauntlet in Infinity War. He used the same schematics that were used for Odin's gauntlet thousands of years ago. It's possible that the so-called fake gauntlet in Odin's vault was actually the original Infinity Gauntlet, filled with fake Infinity Stones. We don't think the gauntlet was there just for show. We believe Odin hoped to use it as a distraction extraction. Maybe if those who seek the stones thought that Odin already collected them all, they will simply abandon their quest to collect the Infinity Stones, since they will assume that there was no way they could steal it from someone as powerful as Odin. Now, of course, most of our theory might be a stretch at best. However, we would really love to see something like this happen in Avengers 4. And the fact is that if our theory is true, Odin might just turn out to be the key for reversing the snap that wiped out half of all life in the universe. It's possible, with his knowledge of the stones, Odin knows how to use them to bring back all the dead heroes and stop Thanos once and for all. And for those that ask how it would be possible for Odin to come back after his death in Thor Ragnarok, well, as we saw in that film, Odin was still able to communicate with Thor.
Without my hammer, I can't.
Are you Thor, the god of hammers?
So even if he's dead, Odin still has some presence in the land of the living. It will be really great to see Odin revealing himself to his son again, giving Thor the information he needs to stop Thanos and reverse the snap. And hey, it's even possible Odin is somehow trapped inside the Soul Stone. Maybe some failsafe he created back when he was in possession of the stone. But we'll leave that for another day. And that's our theory. What do you think? Did Odin collect all the Infinity Stones first? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you liked our theory, be sure to subscribe to Screen Rant. This way you will never miss any of our mind-blowing videos. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one.